Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Well, look here, Wyandottes and the Blue Orpingtons and all. I mean the Blue Orpingtons. The Rhode Island Reds are doing fine. I'm leaving their door open like I normally do, and they're not keeping up with the grass. There's 14 over here if you count Sue. They pretty much should be, but they're not keeping up with the grass. So I'm gonna have to end up cutting that. But it's about time to cut the whole property again. Won't be long. If it wasn't raining, I probably would have done it today, but it's rained a big part of today. And the little mama hen here, those babies are starting to get their color, coming through pretty good. Now they want out. I'm not going to let them out. But the other 5, if I can get the camera to zoom or to clear up, there we go. They're doing really well. So they're fine by themselves. Another week or so, and these 3 will be fine by themselves. Feeders over half full. I freshened the water early today, so they're all doing really well. And then, of course, the 3 turkeys, Junior, and the 6 Blue Orpingtons. Now, I've been talking about them not laying very well and all that, and maybe freezer camp time. So I just gathered the eggs. It's later in the evening. It's 7:30, somewhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And I got 2 turkey eggs today. Not a single egg from the Blue Orpingtons. It's springtime. It's not incredibly hot. It's not cold. These chickens should be laying wide open. And I got 0 eggs from the Blue Orpingtons today. And even the Wyandottes, I got 5 Rhode Island Red eggs. I can tell by their color, by the way. And I got 2 Wyandottes today. They just don't lay like the Rhode Island Reds. So I am really thinking about moving their butcher date a lot closer, because feeding them and not getting anything back in return for that doesn't make a lot of sense. So turkeys don't scratch near as much as chickens do. So if I butcher these Blue Orpingtons, I could probably let them all out, but then Junior would be by himself with the turkeys, and I really don't want that. I'd have to bring probably some of the Wyandottes back over here, or all of them, and that would be okay for Junior anyway. But it just doesn't make sense to keep feeding these chickens that aren't producing eggs. And feeding them layer pellets. They should be laying. It's springtime. The Rhode Island Reds lay just about an egg a day. And if you count them here, 1, I'm not going to count Sue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Rhode Island Red hens over here. And I got 6 of those today. So I only got 1 Wyandotte egg today out of 7 hens. 0 from the Blue Orpingtons. So if you're wanting to get chickens for having your own eggs, don't get Blue Orpingtons. They do not lay worth crap, and I would not suggest Wyandottes. They lay, but not near enough to pay for their feed. So if you're wanting chickens to collect eggs and for your own consumption and for family or whatever, Rhode Island Reds in the southwest, or southeast anyways, southwest Georgia, southeast United States, that's the way to go. They lay pretty much year round. When it gets cold, they slow up a little bit, but they don't stop. The Blue Orpingtons, when it got cold, they stopped. Now it's getting warm, they've stopped. Wyandottes the same way. They kind of lay sporadically most of the year. I haven't found a part of the year, because they'll be a year old in a month and a half, 2 months. I haven't found a part of the year where they lay continuously yet. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. I'm probably going to be butchering chickens here before long. They might as well go to the freezer if they're not going to produce eggs. And, you know, because I still have not refilled my feed. I did not have time this morning to go get feed, and I didn't get home till 9:15 last night. And I intended on going by the feed store when I got off work, but of course they close at 5:30, something like that. So I didn't get feed. I'll have to try to get it tomorrow, Monday after work. I've got enough to last for a few more days. So, but it just doesn't make sense to spend the money on feed and not get a return. So I, you know, hadn't got a whole lot of comments about that off the video I did, but it just doesn't make sense, guys. I'm not in homesteading to make a profit. I'm in homesteading to try to be as self-sufficient as possible. But feeding chickens that aren't producing eggs for you is just a waste of feed, unless you're going to eat the chicken. So it's about time to put those chickens in the freezer and cut my feed bill back. Because last time I butchered all those Blue Orpington roosters that I had, and the 6 older chickens that I started with, they were older than all these. It cut my feed bill in half. And I guarantee you, if I butchered the Wyandottes and the Blue Orpingtons, which I will not do at one time by myself, that's too many by myself. I don't have an automatic plucker. I have to do it by hand. Well, with the attachment in my drill. That's just way too much work for me one day by myself. So they seem to be a pretty hardy chicken. They're just not great egg layers. They're medium at best. The Blue Orpingtons are poor at laying eggs. So looks like they're going to the freezer here pretty soon. They signed their own freezer date ticket by not laying eggs. So I haven't decided whether to butcher the turkeys at that time. They are old enough, they're large enough to butcher and put in the freezer, but I don't have the freezer space for it. So before I butcher chickens, I've got to get one of my freezers cleaned out. The largest chest freezer is actually, it's been on my to-do list. It's been time to clean that one out for a while. But my other 2 freezers are completely full. I don't have room to butcher any and put in there. So just wanted to touch base with y'all and show you the chickens are doing well. They're eating the feed anyway. But the blueberries are still doing good. I have not seen any more fire blight on the trees. And the one comment I got about, you know, using a sprinkler like I'm doing, getting the limbs wet, can help spread the fire blight. I dug up some research on it, and that seems to be the case. It doesn't cause fire blight, but it does help spread it. By the limbs getting wet, helps the fire blight move. So I will avoid the sprinkler directly on. It's for apple trees or pear trees, by the way, but my apple trees have been fine. So I'll avoid spraying the limbs on the trees for a while and see if I can't get that fire blight to kind of go away. But either way, guys, I appreciate y'all watching and listening. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to us small channels. It's hard for us to grow, and every subscription helps, and every thumbs up helps, and every comment helps. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Remember what I always tell you: Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe and be prepared.